Alright guys, J-Minerrr here, back with another video, and today we are going to do the big rig build. The big rig build, the RTX 3090 rig build. Alright guys, we are going to be doing 7 RTX 3090s. And we will actually be going ahead and probably throwing on an AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT. And then we will go ahead and do two 1660s, two MSI 1660s as well. Okay guys, so that's going to be a big rig, a total of 10 cards. We'll see how it goes. I was just going to go ahead and throw the 73090s on this frame, but then I decided we could probably get closer to a full gigahash if we went ahead and threw that 6700 on there and a couple of those 1660s since we got space. I was going to actually use the 1660s and the smaller cards in the 6700 XT. I was going to use those and utilize those in that Box 12 up there, and that's that server style case. It does hold 12 graphics cards in that all-in-one case. It's got the motherboard, CPU, power supply, everything inside that case. It does hold 12 cards. I am going to utilize that in a future build. The thing about that is, I think when I ordered that, I didn't really pay attention to the distance in between the slots on the motherboard, because it is a riserless motherboard. The risers are actually built into the board itself. They make a few different variations of that, and the different variations that they make, the difference in the variations is the difference in between the PCIe slots on the motherboard, okay, because it's a riserless motherboard. So the distance in which you can fit the cards into the board itself. Okay, like Red Panda Mining, he did a video on it where he tried to fit 12 GPUs in that case, and he could only get 11 in there. For some reason, he just couldn't fit the 12 in there. Just the thickness of the GPU plays a big part. But they do have the specs on the website, and that is a Box 12. Okay, that's what that's called. They do have the specs on the website, but I just went ahead and ordered the case because I figure I'd throw 12 GPUs in there eventually, no matter what they are. But I did order another Box 8. I'm sorry, it's a Box 8, and it's the Box 8 Large Industrial. And I read more into it, guys. And again, this is, you know, things I'm learning. So as I read more into it, that one is Large Industrial because it's actually made for larger GPUs like the RTX 3090. So it actually has, I think, 65 or 70 millimeters of distance in between the slots on the card. So you can actually, it's actually got the distance in between the cards to fit the actual 3090s in there. So I may utilize that Box 8. That actually should be here tomorrow, actually. So we may flip it around a little bit. And then one other thing, as far as power goes, I 100% usually, I 100% do stay under the 80% hypothetical rule, meaning that we only use 80% of our allotted power supply in total, okay? So what that means is, I haven't decided yet, but we can go two ways with this. And this is all going to depend on how many strands that I'm going to have, because each one of these RTX 3090s takes 3 8-pins, okay? So what I planned on doing was using 3 power supplies for this build, which we're going to have to. We wouldn't have enough power with 2. Or I'm going to use 2 server power supplies, okay? And these server power supplies here are 1500 watt platinum rated power supplies, okay? So these are HP 1500 watt 94%, as you can see, platinum rated power supplies. Okay, so I may decide to use these. It's actually, it would take up less space. We would have 3000 watts as opposed to 3200 watts, but the server power supplies would take up less space, and also we may have more 6-pins because each one of these EVGA 1200 watt platinum power supplies here has 6 of these 6-pin slots on there. So we got a total of 18 6-pins with the 3 power supplies. Okay, and with the breakout board here, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 25, 26, 28, 30, 32 actually. So we got 32 6-pins on these, between these 2 breakout boards, and these 2, even though it's less power, we have more of the 6-pins for our power supplies. And then also, one big thing about this is it has 4 pins for our fans. So we can actually hook up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 fans to this, 12 actually. So we can do 12 fans on this. So we may end up utilizing these platinum HP server power supplies because they're going to take up less space and they're going to give us more of our VGA 6-pins, okay? So yeah, we'll probably end up using those. Okay, so we got risers here. We're going to be using the GPU risers here on this build. We'll be using GPU risers. Those are our splitters, our power cable splitters, because we're going to have plenty of splitters. I've got 16 here. Okay, 16. I counted out 16 that we would need for this build. That's what we're going to need. And like I said, we're probably going to go with the platinum power supplies because, as you guys see, we've got much more versatility with these platinum power supplies. And oh yeah, by the way, these platinum power supplies, yes, it is made to run, it totally eliminates an ATX power supply with this style breakout board. This style breakout board actually will power your ATX power supply. As you can see here, it has a 24-pin for your motherboard, and it also gives you a bunch of other connectors if you need them. So yeah, these are really nice. You got SATA ports. You got, like, this is really nice. These came from J-Minerrr. I will put a link in the description below for everything that I use in this build here. So these are gonna come in real handy. I'm excited to use these. This will be my first time using some server power supplies, guys. So we are gonna be utilizing for this build, we'll use an Asus Z390P motherboard. Okay, for our processor, we are going to use a Celeron G4930 processor. We are going to be using the Libula for Raspberry Pi, the touchscreen. It's a 7-inch touchscreen for the Raspberry Pi. That's very popular. I use those on every single one of my rig builds to monitor my rigs. So I'll make sure I leave a description, as I said, to all these parts that I'm using here in this build. Okay, and we'll use the 12 GPU frame from AAA Wave. Okay, that's my first time using that 12 GPU AAA Wave frame. I hope it holds up nice. It feels nice and sturdy. Those are the Wathi 5300 RPM fans on that 12 GPU AAA Wave frame. Okay, guys, we've got 4 EVGA RTX 3090 for the Win 3 editions. Okay, then we have 2 NVIDIA RTX 3090 Founder editions, okay? Then we've got 1 AMD 6700 XT we're gonna use. Then we've also got the Asus TUF RTX 3090. That's our 73090 right there. And then we'll throw the 1660s on there as well, just for kicks, okay? They don't really fit this build. I probably will take them up, utilize them in like probably that 12, as I said, that 12 GPU server case up there. The Mindbox 12 or the Mindbox 8 that I have coming as well. I might use it in that. I don't know. We're going to switch this stuff around probably until I get the perfect fit for it. Okay, so this is the entire build. Stay tuned, guys. I'm going to do the entire build. I hope you guys are ready for it. As I said, we're going to do a 7x3090, and then we'll throw 3 extra cards on here, so we'll have a total of 10 cards. We'll do 2 1660s and a 6700 XT on it as well. Now, this is also my first time mixing AMD and NVIDIA cards. So, they say HiveOS does fairly well mixing the AMD and NVIDIA cards, so I feel okay, feel comfortable doing that. And if not, then I will just not use the 1660 and the 6700, and I'll use those in another build. I want to use as many cards as I can. I want to get all these cards up and running. I don't want to have any cards sitting up there not being utilized. So yeah, let's get to it. As you guys can see, in the last video, I did get that frame put together. Those are the Wathi frames on the 12 GPU AAA wave frame. We are going to be using 2 NVIDIA RTX 3090 Founder Editions. Okay, we're going to be using 4 For the Win 3 EVGA 3090s. And then we're going to be using an Asus TUF RTX 3090. Then we'll use the AMD 6700 and the 2 MSI 1660s, okay? And that's what we're going to be utilizing for this entire build. All right, guys, if you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is a really good build. This is a really big build. I anticipate that, well, actually, I calculated each one of these 3090s is going to be roughly taking about 300 to 315 watts, 310, maybe 315-ish. So, and then we've also got to add in the 6700 XT and then also the 1660. So, that's another thing when it comes to my decision on using the 3 ATX power supplies as opposed to the 2 1500 watt platinum power supplies. But we should be under a total of 2500 watts, hypothetically, if we go ahead and go with the 2 platinum server power supplies. So we should be okay. We should be okay. I'm sorry, it's 2400 watts, okay, on 3000, okay? So, you know, if we stay under 2400 or right or at the tip of 2400, I'm okay with that. Otherwise, we may have to go with the ATXs. The problem with that is the 6 pins. I have to use more splitters. I would like to use as many. I would not like to use splitters if at all I don't have to. So I would like to use the least amount of splitters as I can in this build. I really don't like using splitters. I do have actually an order of 18 gauge splitters from Alibaba coming. The shielded 18 cable splitters coming. The 6 pin, the dual 8 pin. Because these I ordered off of eBay. And I don't like those too much. I've already had a couple of them fail on me. And, you know, like power and the cables, the quality of cable you use is paramount to, you know, that's where the power travels through. That's where you're going to have a problem if you're ever going to have a problem. And you want that to hold up. Okay? That's where the power is traveling through. Don't use cheap cables. And to me, they're just not quality cables to me. So I'll use them for right now, but when my 18 gauge cables from Alibaba come, the shielded ones, I'm going to swap all the cables out on my rigs, all the splitters, okay? And I just probably not going to use those. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the build, guys. As I said, if you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the content with a friend. Like I said, we're going to get to this RTX 3090 rig build with a 6700 and a couple of 1660s on it, and I'll bring you guys plenty more to come. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. That helps me out a lot. Share the content with your friends, guys, and let's keep it up. Let's get this channel up to 1,000 subscribers. At 1,000 subscribers, we will be doing another giveaway. As I said, we'll give away one of these Asus Prime Z390P motherboards, okay? That's what we'll do for that. All right, guys, let's get to the build.